correction, everybody. My name is DZ. This is Discover Crypto. Today, we are powered by Arculus, and we're here to answer the question, where the heck is the market going to go? Whoa, I said a word right there. Also, where are these altcoins going to head? And something major is happening with Cardano. We're going to talk about that as well. And Elon Musk proclaimed himself the Doge father yet again. It is a action-packed show today. Probably not going to talk about the convention last night. Really not too much crypto news. But TJ, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Nice to see Bitcoin on the move, a little price action, like over 60K overnight, a little bit pullback right before the show started. But yeah, nice to see Bitcoin moving.
Yeah, and I'm gonna talk about the short-term pullback and see, is there a trade to be made? Is this correction going to keep going, or is the pump going to continue? Everybody, how are we all doing? Make sure you go ahead and hit that like button. Let's go ahead and share this everywhere. Let's shock the YouTube algorithms. Let's shock the Google overlords, everyone. But first, let's roll right into this. I told you about the trade that we were doing. Congrats to my subs. You did get in a little bit sooner because you see the markets are moving in a major way. I just want to play this clip from yesterday's stream.
Hold on.
Are we got good on sound?
Good. Yep.
Subscribers adding to my Bitcoin long. We'll post any alt I long as well. Longing Avalanche. So let's just click on that trade right now. Now, I'll tell you what I was thinking after I point out why I opened the trade. This is the 4-hour symmetrical triangle that we posted about, did a video about it last week. I said, folks, this is a pretty good opportunity, to maybe get some profits. Took profit at the halfway point there. Ended up being a great place to take profit.
Here comes the Avalanche part.
Added to my long as we tested the bottom part of this range. Added at 58,000, I think 18 is where I added. And we look, we're still doing okay on the TS. Oh, wait,
here we go.
Click on Bitcoin here.
This
Bitcoin
is
still trading in this range.
Fast forward.
Just got a little bit in there right now. I'll probably take some more profit if we get upway. But
here.
How's the Avalanche trade looking? Flat. It is profitable. It is profitable.
You could have got in with me. I didn't, front run it. Basically, the trade did go up. The trade went down. We were flat. You could have got in at DZ's entry. We're in the Avalanche trade right now. And the Avalanche trade just looking beautiful. The green line is the entry point I was trying to share with you. And if you did jump in, or if you wish you would have jumped in, please, help support us. Hit that like button. But TJ, how about that entry right there on the Avalanche trade? Dude, you crushed that. That's a sick entry. And like you said, you called it live and nailed the trade.
Called it live. Try to get you to jump in. All right. Well, let's look at the crypto market, everybody. Then we're going to kind of pour a little bit closer into the charts because Deezy's got his Deezastramus hat on today. And I'm going to continue to share the alpha with you. Bitcoin, you can see a 1% correction just in the past hour. We have pulled back. We were above $60,000, but it's still quite green. It is up 2.7%. ETH is not up as much. I'm going to tell you why later on in the stream. Solana's up as well, 0.6%. XRP having a pretty good day, 3.1%. Cardano, out of the top 10, out of almost every single exchange countdown here. Tron with the gigantic gigapump right there, 10%. And Avalanche, I told you Avalanche was going to pump. Look at that Avalanche pump. Now, I longed Avalanche, not Tron. TJ, am I just doing it wrong here?
No, I mean, you can't long them all. I mean, obviously, no. Avalanche moved. You called it. You nailed it. And we did talk about Tron, obviously. We did say a lot of good, strong on-chain metrics come into that. And I'm sure you'll have a little bit more on that later on the show.
People are wondering, where's two first names? Josh, Jake.
Yeah. Here, let's see. Where's that? We're missing our co-host. He's actually off camera. We did add a disco ball though, so shout out
fam. You're here, part of the disco fam. We do appreciate you helping support this channel. We do have member streams every Friday. We try to give you the alpha. We just basically want to help you retire early, everybody. But yeah, he's getting married. So he's gone this week, then he's back for a week or two, right? And then he has his honeymoon, correct?
And then, he's coming back before the honeymoon, so he won't miss you guys too long. But he's getting married, I believe, this weekend.
I heard they're doing less of a vacation resort thing, more of an adventure style honeymoon. I heard they're going to walk Skid Row in LA.
No.
It's gonna be is he's not doing that?
No, I don't think that's part of the plan.
Oh, okay. Well, that'd be an adventure, right?
That would be
folks?
an adventure, yeah.
All right, let's look at the biggest gainers in the world. BitTorrent leading the way, 20% pump right here.
Well, that's connected
Tron.
connected to Tron right there. So
yeah, so Justin's son, he was the founder of Tron. He was also a Ripple advisor. So he went from Ripple XRP advisor, then he founded Tron. And then he kind of stepped down some official capacities and then created BitTorrent, correct? Is he the founder?
No, they just acquired it.
That's right. They bot it.
BitTorrent's been around a long time, kind of even predated a lot of crypto stuff.
And the exchange that was associated with that token, it's not Huobi, or is it?
Huobi is associated with Justin Sun. He acquired Huobi as well, converted it to HTX. But a lot of these were just acquisitions through Sun and Tron and some of those kind of some of his just personal endeavors.
Ondo guy is getting married. That's right. He's going urban camping in San Francisco. You got to have your poop map. Just make sure you put your tent down in a safe place. Just walked New York City over the weekend. Skid City. Last time I was there, I was quite disappointed with the police presence. All right, let's talk about Brett is up. Brett holders. I know we actually do have some Brett holders in the chat. I see some of you folks typing in Brett. So type in Brett if you got some Brett. On the 3-month chart, Brett doesn't look fantastic, but on the 7-day, I mean, look at that pump right there. We're going to talk about why that pumped as well. On the 1 month, fell down pretty low, pretty close to 6 cents, and then all the way up to a dime. So Brett doing great. Shout out to the Brett community here. Aave, we're going to tell you why Aave pumped as well. Aave, one of the big winners here, 15.8% pump to the upside. Dog with Hat moving, Arweave moving, Floki, Tron, Fetch. We're seeing some of the AI tokens. I wonder if Josh is too late to jump in on the AI bandwagon. I might have to make a video. Sectors I'm investing in 2024. I'm interested in your opinion on this, chat, because I'm probably going to do 5. I think I know there's a handful that I know are slam dunks. I want to invest in L1s. I want to invest in AI probably, and DeFi I think is also going to be pretty strong. What 2 sectors am I missing? Should it be gaming? Should it be meme coins? Should it be, I'm trying to think. RWAs, DPen, just let me know. What sector is the hot sector for the remaining months of 2024? Still got about 3 months, everybody. Brett's, all right. Yeah, we got some Brett people in the chat for sure. Skid City is right. Their house. We're not invited to the wedding. It's in California.
Yeah,
it was all planned.
We were invited. I think part of my challenge is it's no kids, so I'd have to not only get out there, but get a babysitter and do all that sort of stuff. So it's they've got a pretty big thing going on, and we're wishing them all the best.
Yeah, they're gonna hunt humans. No, they're not. I'm kidding. I am gonna have a child not free wedding. So there will be children at my wedding, and we're going to put them to work. We're going to put them to work, everybody. Pepe is moving as well. Avalanche is now falling to 6.8% here. Beam, Polygon. But let's look at the biggest losers. When I checked 2 hours ago, there was almost nothing, but we have seen a 1 hour pullback that is just insane. I mean, look at BitTorrent. It's falling 4.7. Fast token, Litecoin. Let me hit refresh here. I just want to make sure we have the fresh data. Litecoin, one of the biggest fallers. Will Litecoin hit $100 again, TJ? I think so.
What's it at right now?
It is right now $65. Now, here's a better question. Litecoin limped along with the higher high in 2021. Can it yet again print a higher high in 2025?
I will say no to that one.
I'm leaning no as well.
I do think it can hit $100, but a higher high, what is that, like 400 or 300, $400? What's that top right there?
That was a hair under 400, but if you zoom in, I think it actually wicked in a little bit closer. If we got to zoom in and just shorten these candles, not quite. I think it actually did on some exchanges though. I mean, it is right there knocking on the door.
I don't see it hitting $400 ever again.
No. Let's see. Do I have an agent? No, but you know what? I did like the Matrix movies, and Agent Smith was who I identified with. All right, the trades are going great, but I said we're going to dive into the charts, folks. This is the symmetrical triangle. I was telling you to trade. This peaked at 2 a.m. So I didn't have a take profit there. Still in the trade. Probably should have took more aggressive profits here. But kind of waiting for a turnaround. These are 4-hour candles. The reason I held on, and this, honestly, all of this falling is like just very, very recent, past half hour. My thesis was, which is now invalidated, my thesis was, wow, we actually closed 2 4-hour candles. And I had a thesis like we're going to scam wick below, and then we might be going for our next leg up. But if we close a couple more 4-hour candles within the symmetrical triangle, maybe a breakout looks a little less likely right there. So that was what I was thinking. If you did take, I actually told you basically, you should probably take some profits towards the top, maybe you take profits towards the middle. So if you jumped in on the trade with those down here, you took some profits, you're doing it better than I did, folks. But this is what I'm looking at here, just in the short-term time frames. Now, I want to do more of a deep analysis here. So let's look at 20-minute candles. This was in the cards, folks. The markets were telling you things were going to fall. And this is what I trade off of primarily is the divergence. We see a bear div forming right here. It's not the strongest one, slight hidden div, but you can see the markets, the prices was pumping, but the RSI, the strength of the token wasn't going nearly as high. As in fact, it was kind of flat even to the downside here. So the markets were telling you there's going to be a sharp correction, and the markets came through with a nice 2.8% correction there on a short time frame with a little leverage there. Ended up being somewhat of a major move there. So the charts were telling you we're due for a cool down. But what about the upside? Are we going to bounce? I mean, I'm just looking at red candle after red candle. I mean, is there any bullish divs on the shorter time frames? Now we're getting pretty deep in oversold territory. Now, I guess there was a little bit of one, and it played out. Yeah, I mean, you can see it right there. And yeah, you got one green candle, basically, and then we're back to the downside. So the market's trying to push it down. Just be careful out there, folks. I'm not saying open along at these levels by any means whatsoever. Let's talk about some of these altcoins pumping. Brett, Aave. I saw a lot of you folks had Brett. How many people have Aave? And TJ, do you remember I was telling people to buy Aave like a month ago?
Yeah, well, I definitely remember, and this is, I'm sure it says it in the title, these two coins stand out, us talking about what makes certain altcoins different when you see things moving and what metrics to look for. And I do remember talking about Aave having a lot of growth with on-chain activity and things picking up their kind of underlying metrics. So yeah, I think I remember saying buy after that. But
people are talking about Arrow. Is Arrow doing well? Let's look here. I know we have a strong Arrow community here. It's only up 2.5%, but I think it's a pretty good buy. I was going to DCA today, but I might DCA today because we had strong green candles, but now we have pulled back we pulled back half of our gain. So we were up 4%. Now we're only up 2%. We've dropped 2% in the past hour. So I might DCA. But Brett ended up pumping. Brett had some pretty good news here. Volume soared significantly. I think it got added to an exchange. Raises the possibility of a bullish upswing here. Dog with Hat also had a nice pump there. I want to talk about Aave, though. Aave ended up with a gigantic mega pump. It's still up 15%. And I was looking, the reason I didn't pull the trigger, I'm telling you to buy, but did he buy? I didn't buy. Reason I didn't buy, this was the wick right there. We kind of told you, wow, there's good opportunities kind of trading this range. The wick was recovered just insanely fast. So by the time I wanted to make the move, or, I'm like recovering from the market crash, it had already basically, erased most of its losses right there. That was the opportunity. It basically dipped all the way to 80 and teleported back above 100. It's like, God, there was that opportunity, get that $80, but it gave it to you again.
Yeah, that's what you're looking for sometimes too on some of these corrections when you see these altcoins, the ones that recover the strongest, the fastest. And I know we mentioned this on the stream a few weeks ago when we saw that was August 5th when that strong dip happened. And like you said, by next day, it had pretty much made up that entire. I mean, that's all one day.
That
right?
day,
yeah, same day,
$79, and still says the 5th, and it says $94.
Right, so it pretty much made up that whole
98.
correction in one day. Other ones, you saw things bounce strong off of that, but that one bounced a lot stronger. We saw the similar thing with Ondo. It had a very strong bounce. So, and then you go look like, hey, why? And then you look at some of their underlying metrics of on-chain activity picking up, size of loans picking up. Aave is an actual real DeFi protocol that works, and it has worked. It's been battle tested. It's not the sexiest as far as returns and all that sort of stuff, but it actually does what it's supposed to do, and we're seeing that pick up more over time. So that's definitely one to watch, in my opinion. Great,
Blue is wondering, would love to know who paid to get these guys to shield their coin. Aave gave, we're not. I wish Aave was giving me some money. Brett,
Aave, if you have some budget,
Brett community, give me Brett.
Yeah, if you have some budget to spare, Aave, we would definitely take some sponsorships. We would love to showcase the way your protocol works, and it's good. We think it's a great product. So,
but you know what? I'll tell you what. It was cool dog. He wanted us to bring up this tweet in particular here. Now I'm joking, of course, folks. Aave was breaking out last call. Don't get left behind. I don't know who Cool Dog is, but they're probably cool. Brett, I did say it was an exchange. Technically, it was Binance Futures added a perpetual contract right there. So as a result, that's why you're seeing the Brett pump. Let's talk about the Aave pump real quick. Big investors piling into Aave as the DeFi sector grows. Chong here noted that wealthy wallets are increasingly buying the token. Supply and demand on exchanges has diminished by $18 million over the past month, with substantial purchases from big whales. He said BitGo's strategic error. The BitGo's, okay, so Coinbase says some DeFi news right there. So basically the whales start accumulating it off the exchanges. What do you think a whale pulls Aave off an exchange for, TJ?
Just to hold it for long term, most likely, or to use it within the actually on-chain DeFi stuff. I mean, if it's on an exchange, it's not being used within the protocol, so it's probably to stake or provide liquidity for some of these underlying DeFi products.
Yeah, I would say, maybe DeFi, the big whales are saying, maybe we're getting close, or that was close to a cool dog is hot dog's nemesis. Maybe we're getting close to a DeFi bottom. So, it could be just a good time to get into the DeFi ecosystem. The more I'm talking about it, the more I think DeFi is going to make it in the 5 sectors we're invested in this year. All right, let's look at Bitcoin right now. $59,760. Let's hit refresh, 769. The reason I'm pulling that up is, well, there were some memes here, but now it has been invalidated. Put the mask back on.
Yep,
Put the mask back on. No longer valid. Bitcoin dominance. Let's talk about dominance for a second, then I'm going to pull up my charts. And
wait, is Benjamin Cowan in the chat?
It.
Anytime you talk Bitcoin dominance, Benjamin Cowan appears, right?
Yeah, well, it's like Beetlejuice. You got to say
3 times. Dominance.
Well, I was going to say, what was his whole thing with his desk? 2 cardboard boxes and a plank of wood or something like that. And a lawn chair. Big shout out to Ben Cowan. Ben Cowan actually had a very funny tweet. It's actually worth pulling up. So Ben Cowan here, POW. I might have to, it's into the crypto verse. Mm-hmm. I might have to type it in that way. Yeah, I'm gonna have to, I think it's into the crypto verse, right?
Is. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Okay,
there it is.
Benjamin. It's because I didn't put Benjamin. He goes by Benjamin. This is his tweet. Crypto has not aged me at all.
Yeah.
Ben Cowan, age 34. Did you know Ben's only 34?
Yeah, I did.
That's
actually, believe it or not, I think he's done that tweet before like a year ago. So.
Yeah, it was, I think when the first AI aging, I thought it was TikTok or Snapchat. One of the ones that like had that first aging filter that was like super, super viral at the time. Big shout out to Ben Cowan. Ben Cowan, very, very smart guy. If you're wondering what his deal is, he's a mathematician,
data scientist.
Data scientist. I want to say he had an 8-year degree or a 6-year degree in mathematics. I can't recall exactly, but really, really good stuff. And he like literally creates his own like algorithms, where it's like parentheses X minus Y in parentheses square divided by BTC dominance. And you're like, and then it comes up with a graph and you're like, okay, that's, I must not use my TI-83 for that.
Basically, like advanced statistics, and basically he takes in large amounts of data and displays it in a variety of different ways to tell a story.
Yeah, with a healthy dose of dubious speculation. All right, let's talk about Bitcoin dominance here. You can't say dominance without thinking Cowan. Hits roadblock as altcoins gear for a rally. Is Bitcoin faltering? As of this writing, Bitcoin dominance stands at 56.9%. It failed to breach the upper line of its rising wedge. Rising wedges typically are bearish signals. The failure to break out of the rising wedge is often seen as a bearish signal, implying the dominance might be peaking or declining. As the dominance weakens, it creates opportunities for altcoins to gain market share. This has been the case with the rising total 2 since August 5th. Total 2 is it says right here, measures the sum of market cap of the top 125 altcoins. Is that what it is? $870 billion at press time. This has climbed by 2% since the dominance began to fall. I pulled it up on the charts here. This is a weekly chart. So, I mean, this date right here, you're looking at is like 2017. Let's zoom in a little bit. I drew this blue line forever ago. I can't even remember. It was, I think, 2 months plus. And basically, I just said, folks, I'm kind of seeing like it looks like the rise is starting to slow down. We might end up, going to the downside. I'm going to keep this blue line here. Let's just see if it plays out that way. I think this was a short-term spike. And interestingly enough, we kind of rose to where this point of support was and now maybe acting as resistance, this 57.5% range. The yellow line is the 60% line that Tim Warren bet against me and said Bitcoin would hit this before we hit an all-time high. I said, you're smoking the funny stuff there, Tim, and he was.
So Tim's bet was that it would? And yours bet is that it wouldn't?
We will hit 60% before Bitcoin hits all-time high. I said, I don't even know if we hit 60%, so you're definitely wrong. I end up being right. He still owes me a steak dinner for that. So he writes code. Now, he does like math algorithms. His videos are therapy for moon boys, brings everyone back to reality with real data. You can stake Aave, use it for loans. Cowan's ears are burning right now. I hope so. All right, Bitcoin.
This was news to me. Bitcoin has broken out of the downtrending channel. I'm like, wait, what? When I hear the parallel channel, wait a minute, we broke out of this?
Yeah, right.
No, we didn't.
Much bigger, longer channel.
What are you talking about? We didn't break out of that. And they're like, no, yeah, we did. We broke out of this.
That channel.
Oh, okay. Sure. All right. And right now it looks like the markets are trying to get back in there. So
look at that candle, man. That's a heck of a wick.
Yeah, that is. That thing is moving up to the upside. All right. I'm actually kind of interested. Let's go to the 3-minute chart here. Stop going lower. I'm in a long. All right. I didn't take profit yet because I'm live. All right. That's the Bitcoin exploding above 60K, triggering over $100 million in liquidations. I don't want to get into the story here. I just wanted to share. Not us.
Yeah.
Not us. So hit that like button if you longed with me, or if you just appreciate us, trying to be right more than we're wrong here, folks.
So those liquidations are shorts getting wiped out, basically, which is what triggered that big move.
There's got to be that hand, like 10% or just like crazy over levered longs.
Mm-hmm.
It was like Bitcoin pumps 4% 24 hours, and it's like, wait, you got wrecked on a long? Like, yeah, I put 50x. They're like, oh, okay, well, yeah, that'll do it. As seen in the chart, you see exploded by more than $1,000 in a single hourly candle right there. But then it ended up dumping about an hour in a single hourly candle as well. And just like that, all the 100x shorts have been liquidated. I feel like 5x and 10, well, maybe not 5, but I feel like some of the 10x's probably got liquidated as well. Now we got some bullish news when it comes to the miners here. Hash ribbons signal the end of miner capitulation. For newer viewers, people who are newer to crypto, just real quick, briefly, TJ, what is miner capitulation?
That is generally when miners are trying to hold on to their Bitcoin and not sell it off because they're trying to get it in a higher profit. And then once they're selling, it's because they're having to cover the cost of their equipment, and they're trying not to cut old machines off that are barely profitable. And then eventually they have to be like, all right, we're done with these machines, and we'll go with the ones that are giving us the better price.
Yeah, and so it's like they're right there at that break even, maybe even operate at a loss. Like, I don't mind paying $20,000 in electricity this month if it increases our odds of hitting a block reward. And so might be the end of this era, everybody. Hash ribbons are a popular indicator that highlights periods of stress in the mining market. Uses 30 and 60-day moving average of the hash rate, and it just signaled the end of miner capitulation, aka the miners dumping their Bitcoin. This is logical given that the rate just reached a new all-time high. Miners are beginning to use more efficient equipment, turning their machines back on and becoming less likely to sell. The first time this has happened since the halving, when the rewards were reduced to 3.125, making it a significant and healthy signal. Although it isn't meant to pinpoint the exact price bottom, it often precedes higher prices by signaling a reduction in selling pressure from miners. I wanted to zoom in on this photo here. And so hash ribbons signal the end of miner capitulation. So is that right there? Boom, price going up and to the right. Whoa, price really went up and to the right. Price went up and to the right. Price went up and to the right. Price went up and to the right. Maybe price is going to go up and to the right.
The first one on the left is kind of the end of, look, what is that, November 2020 into 2021?
Yeah. So this would be like that October, November. This is, right before Bitcoin hit 20K again.
Yeah.
And then that's when I was like, turn those machines back on.
And that's about where I think we're heading now. So something like
Feels
that.
Good, folks. Feels good. Gringos, LOL, price doesn't move.
All right, real quick.
My leverage trade.
We've had a few ads running. I'm going to skip this next one. You guys take that second, go ahead and hit that like button. We've got 840 people in here, only 175 likes. I just hit skip there. So if you've got your cell phone, turn it sideways, hit the like button on there. And we'll get back to the show.
All right, back to the show. How about back to the whales?
God, see, look at that. Like, I just skipped it, and it's trying to run another one. So I'm going to skip 2 in a row, and it doesn't like it. The more I skip, the more it tries to run them. So
the Google algorithm knows we have a smart, financially literate audience right here, and so they're trying to serve you these ads. We are trying to stop it though, folks. We just want to sell our ADA from 2021. Yes, me and TJ talk about that at least once a week. All right, $5.7 billion in Bitcoin bought by whales in just 6 weeks. And I just kind of want to highlight that the whales are buying. And who's our favorite whale? Mr. 100. Mr. 100 bought 450. 450 are created each day. He bought more than that.
About
Nice.
507. Come on, man. You're supposed to be Mr. 100, not Mr. 101.98. What do you think's going on here?
I have no idea. I mean,
I don't know either.
I've heard that it might be not even a individual, but an actual exchange. But I mean, has
They say it could be Upbit, but
Yeah.
Upbit, it does appear to be like accumulating as part of their strategy. That's just odd that he buys 100 point something right there. I don't know. Just stick to, I don't know. I mean, you have OCD. I mean, how does that make you feel?
Yeah, I mean, not great. I don't really have OCD, but
your desk would attest otherwise. TJ, is your desk have like very symmetrical piles and stacks?
yeah, it generally does. Yeah, and like 3 pens all lined up in a row.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Well, maybe a little. I used to have cripplingly bad OCD, and maybe I'll share it with the basement on Friday. Really, really bad, where it was affecting my life.
See, and that's kind of what I'm saying. That to me, that's what makes it OCD is if it's actually impacting things. Like for me, it's just like, yeah, I like things to be in their place.
Yeah, I
you know?
couldn't walk normal, and it was a whole thing. Mr. 100 might be oil money. That'd be very nice. Is Singapore? I want to sell Mr. 100 trying to corner the market, put pig in your mouth, and has $1 billion slowly. $1 billion worth, 5 billion. 1 million Bitcoin in 2027. $1 million Bitcoin in 2027. Can Bitcoin hit $1 million? Yes. Will it hit $1 million? Yes. Will it happen in 2027? No, it will not. It won't do that. Analyst says Bitcoin could be mirroring Japanese stock market's early years. Yeah, we're not going to get $1 million Bitcoin in 2027. Wishful thinking. Maybe $250,000 by then. Synonymous trader Tech Dev shared a chart here comparing Bitcoin to the Nikkei 225. That's like their Japanese NASDAQ price weighted index that tracks 225 blue chip companies trading on Tokyo Stock Exchange. And so what is he doing here? Oh, surprise, surprise. It's a log chart, everybody. What did I say about log charts? It is cheating. Do not do it. Bitcoin, this is awesome. Same number of users that the internet had in 1999. We are just getting started. TJ, when did you first start interacting with the internet? What was your experience?
Oh, that's a good question. When did I first start interacting with the internet? I guess it was like AOL and AIM and some of that kind of stuff back in the day.
Okay.
So yeah,
Yeah, a little AOL chat room, stuff like
Yeah.
that. I never, I grew up, kind of impoverished, single mother family, growing up in the trailer park there, and I never had a PC. I had to graduate, make my own money, living on my own. I moved out of the house when I was 18, and ended up buying a cheap laptop, I think, when I was like 19. So I didn't actually have like my own computer for like a long time. So by then, I think MySpace was around. But the first time I remember using it, Web TV for a keyboard hooking up to your square box analog television.
Huh.
Yeah, that was my first experience. But yeah, Bitcoin adoption curve. So we are still early, folks. You're
Very
still early. TJ, if you have a neighbor or a friend or a colleague say, "Am I too late to get into Bitcoin?" What do you say to them?
No, absolutely not. I mean, it's never too late. I'd say, is it too late to start saving for your future? No, like you need to start doing that right now. And so
It's great.
if your money is in dollars, it's not the best place. It's not the best place to preserve your wealth and your savings. So you might as well do it in something that holds its buying power better. And there's no time to start, no better time to start building your future than right now. So no, absolutely not too late. Definitely need to get going. Definitely need to buy your first little portion of Bitcoin, do your first little bit of research, and start getting ready for the future.
Yeah, I mean, you get 1% for $600. You can get 0.1% for $60. Just do that every weekend or something.
Yeah.
It will start to accumulate, and it will have a dramatic effect, especially if you're doing this during the bear market.
Yeah, people that are pessimistic. I mean, you could even if you starting to save anything is great. Say you're saving, like you said, say you're saving $40
Unless
a
you're
week.
Tim Walls.
Put $20 into dollars and $20 into Bitcoin for the next, foreseeable future and see what happens. See what your results are. And anybody that I've had do that ends up switching over to Bitcoin pretty wholeheartedly, pretty quickly.
Reading some of your chats on internet stuff, pretty funny stuff. Before that, Mr. 100 sounds like a super villain from Captain Bilal. Bob, OCD impacted my life, walking, touching things, organizing, etc. I can relate with that one, buddy. First PC was a gateway. Dude, you didn't get a Dell? ASL, question mark. Remember that? ASL?
Yeah.
I remember the first time seeing that, like, I felt creepy to me then as a child. I was like, that just seems I don't know. Like,
yeah, it's a bit weird.
it was weird.
Yeah.
It was a little bit weird. It's Predators loved it. What about gold and silver? I think, it's not terrible buying gold and silver. I just think Bitcoin is a faster horse. So I'd rather, be in the cryptocurrency sector. Let's see here. Internet nights we're using dial up. Fun stuff. Is that Paul Wall's cousin? What? Because we tell you put your phone sideways? The like button for days? I don't know. BlackRock. IBIT is their Bitcoin ETF ticker. Boost Bitcoin ETFs with $92 million of inflows. Total is now $20 billion. So we had a nice Bitcoin inflow. In the top of the show, I said I'm going to tell you why Ethereum and Bitcoin are performing so differently. And it is because Bitcoin ETFs inflow here, while the ETH ETFs had outflows here. In contrast, Ethereum ETFs are struggling. There's only an outflow of $13 million. Which isn't that bad, but at the end of the day, I think the markets react negatively just to a red day general. Whether it's $1 million in outflows, $15 million in outflows, you still just feel, mostly bearish around the same levels there. 15 of the 25 largest hedge funds have disclosed Bitcoin ETF holdings.
This is actually pretty big to me.
This is huge.
Yeah.
Citadel, Bridgewater, Millennium Management. So we got yes, not yet. Yes, not yet. So you should just say no. So no. But number 1 does, number 3 and number 4. Let's just do the top 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 out of the top 10 do have some Bitcoin ETF exposure. Millennium Management, it must be in the name. It's all the millennials here. 27,000 Bitcoin. This number is just going to go up and to the right. I think, there'll be some profit taking, near the peak. But generally speaking, ETF exposure is just going to have more and more and more gold. More and more digital gold, meaning less Bitcoin for you to hold. So, try to hold your Bitcoin. And if you are, we recommend self-custody. Big shout out to Arculus. Go to getarculus.com. Go down below. We have a link for you, and we have a code DC10, and you save 10% there. All right, let's talk about Polymarket. I don't want to get into the election stuff. Did you happen to watch any of the DNC last night?
No.
I watched most of it. It was Hillary Clinton, AOC, great persuasion techniques. Biden yelled a lot. If I'm just going to try to be frank here, I think it was a lot of yelling. And then Jill brought up the story of Bo saying something special about this Kamala woman. Bo is Hunter's brother. There's allegations between Bo and Kamala, so I'm surprised she brought that story up. I just thought that was interesting. How much of Polymarket, though, its volume is election? Here's a weekly graph. Elections, the blue line.
Jeez.
Look at the last week of July.
Wow. Like the whole thing.
The whole thing. I think it's largely related to the conventions here. Probably also, the Harris running mate. Whilst this was near the picks there. But yeah, this is insane. Started out like no political stuff, of course, pretty far away from election season. But just seeing that jump right there, that was probably, Trump versus Biden odds, started spiking. But yeah, this is nuts.
Why? What's that date in the middle where it went down? What's that?
May. If I had to guess, that is you know what that is? ETH ETF stuff is my guess. I think a lot of that was the ETH ETF because we thought that we were going to get the ETH ETF around that month and didn't end up happening.
Yeah, it's interesting how just a couple different sectors is what people seem to want to bet on Polymarket. So, and it makes you wonder if it's only a handful of whales that are driving most of the volume. Interesting.
The Gump. Can you guys explain why people would buy an ETF instead of real Bitcoin? Very easy. Seed phrases scare people. That's all. That's it. Also, hey, Grandpa, download Coinbase. Take a picture of your ID. Now give me your bank account routing number. Hey, Grandpa, BlackRock has a way to buy Bitcoin. Okay.
Well, and just think about this. You're talking about ultra wealthy, very elite type of people. It's not just your typical like, hey, we're going to put a few thousand. If somebody's going to put millions of dollars into something, they are used to having somebody else custody that. They don't buy their own stocks and they don't hold their own stock certificates either. So they think of this very much the same way. If they're going to allocate a small portion of some sort of fund to this, they're going to use an ETF to do it. So it's a necessary. They're not buying it for self-custody. They're not in a self-custody mindset. They're buying it as a hedge or an alternative asset. So it's just a different mindset. All
right. We got a lot of people saying GM in the chat. You know what, chat? Good morning to you. I'll take a little sip of coffee. TJ, do you got any bang or any kind of
I got a little
drug-induced liquid?
Yeah, some Alani. It's empty, but yeah, I've got one over here. Alani, yeah.
Isn't that like an R&B singer?
No.
Oh, okay. I've never heard of it. All right, everybody.
There you go. Cheers. And then George Martinez also says hello. He said, "Hey, I fell asleep. What is everybody talking about me for?"
Yeah, some are saying what height Biden was. I don't think. Let me say this. I don't want to get into it. I watched on AP. I watched AP's stream. There's about 50 to, I think, probably spiked up to around 70,000 views. The chat was lit, and the chat was in one direction.
Yeah.
One direction. I mean, it was 80, 90% on one side. Chat, you can maybe guess the side, but chat was insane. And when Ashley Biden jumped on stage, oh my God, the comment section was just going crazy. All right. But anyways, let's, Polygon, they're getting showered with all of this activity with poly markets, and Solana wants to do the same thing. Everybody, looks like Drift Protocol is going to try to take some of the market share from Polygon and poly markets. I'm not even going to play this clip. I don't know what it is. I don't even want to get into it. Breaking: Trump plans to tap Elon Musk for cabinet if elected. This is, from that space that he's basically said he wants to be in charge of efficiency. He wants to create a department of efficiency, and potentially might be willing to give him a position in the cabinet if elected. In an interview with Reuters, Trump highly appreciated his management at Tesla and his advanced technologies and innovations. The reason we're talking about this is, well, he had to tweet about it. Department of Government Efficiency, Doge. What are the odds? All right, let's just say it does happen. Trump folds him into some aspect of, maybe not a major cabinet position, but maybe he, creates a department of, efficiency. He wants to, you are in charge of efficiency, Elon. What are the odds he calls it Department of Government Efficiency and we have a Doge cabinet position? I'm serious. Let's just say it's a given.
You're saying assuming because there's, forget about the odds of if it will or won't happen. You're saying assuming it's happening.
Assuming it's happened. Assuming
he call
Trump brings him into the fold for efficiency. What are the odds that he does call it Doge?
I
say above 50.
I was going to say 50-50. If it's going to happen, we'll call it 50-50 that it gets called that, because I think I wouldn't surprise me. I mean, people make up ridiculous names for government stuff all the time, and give it an acronym. So yeah, sure, why not? But I don't see the odds of it actually playing out being too high, in my opinion.
DC, I like DCA and Prey's thought here. Department of Government Efficiency feels like a real position that should happen because the government is very inefficient.
It does feel like it is necessary, but I don't see it happening.
I don't see it happening. Exit implement crypto on the platform, but is it even launched? K-Jam, that is a great question. They're in the middle of getting money remittance licenses, and last I checked, they're pretty close to 40 out of the 50. I don't know if they need to get DC as well. 40 out of the 50 or 51 licenses have been obtained here. Do you have some past coin that could use that example to mirror possible Ondo move behavior being a hot narrative? I would say look at AI coins, the previous pumps there, the previous hype cycles there. We could get a pretty good BlackRock hype cycle. He is just a hype man. Well, what did Doge do? Let's actually refresh right now. So when I did it this morning, it was a 5% pump. We were above a dime. Okay, we're still above a dime. 10 cents right here. But whoa, look at that pullback just recently in the markets.
I like Matt's response. He says bullish yet dumbish.
Yeah, it's bullish and dumbish. Yeah, that's a great thing there. Department of Accountability, DOA, needs to be created dead on arrival. That's funny. Let's a couple more political news here. Rumors that Harris is eyeing Gensler for Treasury. It's been denied as DNC skips adding Bitcoin in a platform. I think they had 80 pages, 0 mentions of cryptocurrency. Rumors are yet to be confirmed. But they say that multiple Democrats denied the possibility of such a nomination. So we did hear, that it was a possibility. Gensler has not publicly expressed interest in leaving his current role. Sources indicate the discussions are ongoing and the possibility of his nomination is gaining traction. How would you feel as Gensler as a Treasury Secretary, TJ?
No thanks. Pass.
Yeah, just big no thanks for me.
Yeah.
They call him Goldman Gary. He was the youngest vice president at Goldman Sachs history, and he is, just the epitome of a banking swamp creature there. Near and Render as an example. I like those examples as well. All right, I should probably read this article. It says, Tom Emmer saying random BS, talk about the Gensler as Treasury Secretary. Just want to kind of cover this. It was written by Matt Foldy,
who ran for Congress as a Republican, focused on anti-democratic rhetoric. Call me to get a new real source. I thought I saw other sources there, but this particular source definitely seems to be debunked. More news here. Sources share allegations about Jerome Powell's speech on Friday. Will he say 50 basis points? Is he going to signal 50 basis points, or are we going to get 25? I think the markets are going to be slight bearish if we get 25 basis points, because so many people are expecting 50, maybe even 75.
What are the odds? Because I think
that's a great question.
Yeah, go pull the odds up. I'm still leaning towards 25 basis points. I think people are overly optimistic that are asking for 50 or 75. I would guess the market's pricing in, and just look at not the poly market odds, but you can look at both.
Oh, that's the real odds to me. Yeah, there's the other one. Yeah, the markets are, because this is what the DGen traders are feeling.
25 basis. That's about what I figure. I think the markets are pricing in 25 basis points, and then if we get more, it's bullish. But I think if we get none, it's bearish. But I think they're pricing in 25 basis points.
Yeah, I would say the same. It looks like 25. But it's those 16% of people that want the 50% or the 50 basis points that are going to, maybe be a little bit of a downward pressure right there. So they're expecting, it does look like we're probably going to get the 25 basis points. It remains to be seen. Analysts also expect him to describe the Fed as flexible and agile, because he's also a hype man for Cirque du Soleil. All right, here we have a great video. They want removed. I don't know if it's because of the audio at the end here, but this is from when he was on 60 Minutes.
To say you simply flooded the system with money.
Yes, we did. That's another way to think about it.
Who knows who this rapper is?
Where does it come from? Do you just print it?
We print it digitally. We also print actual currency.
Can the president fire you?
I have a 4-year term, and I fully intend to serve it.
So no, in your view?
No.
Hey, and then that's what we can expect, everybody. So, yeah, hopefully, hey, maybe we do get the 50 basis points, everyone. All right.
I guess if you look at the Fed CME group, Fed Rate Watch, they've got it listed at 71% for 50 basis points. So.
Ooh, interesting.
And then 30 basically 29% at less. So,
Yeah, I just worry that one's more likely to be manipulated with fakery. But the problem about just creating debt and going with the money printer machine, we got China, they're not buying our debt anymore. We got Australia, Japan, they're not buying our debt anymore. So we need someone to step up, buy these T-bills, buy these U.S. treasuries. If only crypto had an answer. Anyways, unrelated story. MakerDAO announced plan to invest $1 billion into tokenized U.S. Treasury products. Who's going to be in this? BlackRock, Biddle Fund, Superstate, and Ondo have expressed interest in participating in the plan. This signifies a major shift in MakerDAO's reserve strategy, aiming to support its decentralized stablecoins with U.S. government bonds. I don't want this video to get demonetized. I don't want us to get shadow banned, but MakerDAO's CEO was found, 24 hours after tweeting. It's just a dark story. He was found in a beach. He was not a floater. He was a sinker. I got to be careful with my words there, folks, but he basically alleged that 3-letter agencies were going to plant something on his girlfriend's laptop, and he is not in a bad mood. He wants to be around tomorrow. He wasn't around the next day. He was the founder of MakerDAO. 1 year later, MakerDAO's buying all the US T-bills, buying all the US treasuries. I'm not saying there's anything there, but when I see these stories, I feel like there is a connection, folks. And I got to be careful. I don't want to, have my car drive into a tree on the way home. But yeah, this looks like maybe there's something there, though, folks. But what does that mean for Maker? Maker's probably going to go up and to the right, folks. Pretty obvious, some are saying here. Yeah, but Ondo, I think Ondo is probably the big winner there. Some of the biggest ETH whales, those holding over 10,000, have been steadily selling over the past month with no signs of easing up. I kind of have a bold take here. I think there's a non-zero chance this was liquidity for the ETH ETFs. Like, maybe some, I don't know, some like semi kind of close to OTC deal where you kind of see the activities, where they're not just like giving them a wallet. Like, all right, yeah, I'll move 10,000 ETH from the ICO days when I got it for 13 cents. I think there's some of that, maybe going on there.
Yeah, I agree.
ETH's post ETF drop. Also, there's this angle. It was just a sell the news reaction. kind of wait for a bottom. And we've kind of made videos of some of these ETH whales. They're trying to buy the bottoms there. DNC was far better than Hulk Hogan. I don't know. Did you see the Choose Your Way Western Man? And it had the guy who's the Trump is a scab shirt. And then they had the other photo of Hulk Hogan. I thought that was kind of funny. Contrast there. Yeah. DZ's a goner, said too much. We will miss it. I think I was pretty careful with my words, but yeah, MakerDAO, CEO, laptop, Caribbean. You can check it out yourself. 2 different on-chain metrics indicate we're in the late stages of Ether's correction. Current data shows that buyers in ETH are gradually regaining strength. Over time, we'll tell if this is temporary or the start of a strong rally. If you're wondering why they call it Ether, the protocol is called Ethereum. The coin is actually called Ether. TJ, do you ever call it Ether? Lame.
I mean, like I have. Dork. I'm not saying I never call it that, but yeah, I usually say Ethereum, or I usually say ETH. Send me some ETH.
Yeah, just send me some ETH. Yeah. Send me some Ether.
Yeah.
It just sounds weird. Ethereum has more stablecoins than any other L1. If you include layer 2s, it has over 50% of the whole stablecoin market cap. Ethereum is scaling value. L2s are scaling value movement. Tether, though, still mostly on Tron, but once you add in Circle, PYUSD, that's when ETH ends up overtaking. This is bad news for Solana ETF hopefuls, though. Solana ETF rejected by Gary Gensler and the SEC. SIBO is a financial firm. They did the 19B4 filings for Solana ETFs, and it just got rejected. So don't expect Solana ETF anytime soon. Now, Matthew Seigel, he's the head of digital assets research for Van Eck. For the record, Van Eck believes SOL is a commodity, just like Bitcoin and ETH. The belief is informed by evolving legal perspectives, where courts and regulators have begun to recognize certain assets may function as securities in primary markets, but behave more like commodities in secondary markets there. Also, the past year, Solana has made substantial progress in decentralization. I've been noodling around with this. So certain markets, it's a security. Certain markets, it's a commodity. Imagine if a gold mining company sold you invested in the company and they gave you gold. You can create paperwork where that on paper would be a security, but gold is still a commodity. So I thought that was pretty fascinating right there. ETH is, I could definitely say, is both commodity and a security. Polygon, good news. OP stack chains will be connecting to the AG layer. AG layer is like Polygon's, I don't want to quite say a version of the OP stack, but is what their network is built upon. And so the AG layer will now be connected to OP stack. This is just big news for L2s in general, and expect things where, okay, you can connect a wallet and it's like, choose your L2. You have Base, you have Arbitrum, you have like Polygon. Now, if they have Base, you expect to see Matic pop up a lot more, and potentially Polymarket. Maybe you're going to be betting with OP one day. So pretty bullish for both those chains there. Let's see here. I think we got one more thing. Cardano. Time for the Cardano corner. TJ, do you think we have Cardano holders in the chat?
I think there are. I hear they have a community. Yeah.
Tell me when you bought your Cardano, when you first bought your Cardano. I want to know the prices people got in on Cardano, and then maybe we can kind of determine where do we think people are going to sell. I'll go first. Put my neck out there. I think I got in at 20 cents. It was the first time I made a Binance account. I made my Binance account to buy Cardano because it was hard to buy as an American. What about you? So I got in late. I got in at 20 cents.
Yeah,
you
I
probably
got in
too?
late. I probably, the first time I was buying it, it was probably close to $1. If I had,
okay, so you were closer to 2018 Q1.
Early 20, like January, February 2018, bought it all the way down to 20 cents and then saw it. I mean, basically for all of 2019 sit at 5 cents. And, that's when I, did some accumulating. But for the first time purchase, it was probably close to $1.
Wow. Someone just got in a month ago, 28 cents. Great entry point, 25 cents. $3.10. Sorry, they bought the top there, 33 cent Canadian. At this point, we don't hold ADA. We're clinging to it. I can't disagree with that assessment. 16 cents, 90 cents, saw 3X, didn't sell. Charles giving ADA holders a free helicopter ride as a thank you. I guess you also get a ADA reward every 5 days, every epoch. 7 cents or so. Bought Cardano when Sol hit $200. All right. Came to ADA around $1.25, $1.70. Okay, so we got a nice mix. Not too many people got in under 5 cents though.
We got 7 cents. We got 44 cents, 24 cents, 35 cents as a DCA.
When it did hit that low, it was
here we go. Crypto
dead.
Boy is similar to me. I'm here, old Cardano holder. First bought at 12, then down at 5. Yes, I mean you had basically an entire year or more to buy it at 4 to 5 cents, kind of between all of 2019, even into 2020. It was down pretty low, and then moved into 2021.
Mr. Techno Goody, new Cardano marketing line. Yeah, but can it run Doom? Those who don't know, with Hydra Heads, it seems like you might be able to have 1 million players playing Doom simultaneously. That'll be interesting if they do pull that off. Invested in ADA instead of Sol, RIP. Sorry about that. What do you think of Truflation? It's a good thesis. Great name. All right, Cardano falls out of top 10 by market cap here. Now trading at 34 cents with a modest 2% weekly gain. And it lost a spot to Tron. And it looks like its assets price daily active address divergence, now lowest level in 90 days. Seeing some bad news here. On-chain transaction volume and profit versus loss has peaked there. Yeah, they're coming up with some like interesting metrics, like Ben Cowan metrics right there. Then you got this, you got RFK even in an indirect way pooping all over the Cardano community. New RFK ends his fireside chat with Chucky Ho-Ho by saying, "I love the Bitcoin community."
And that's why Kennedy is the remedy. Thank you for spending this time with us. It's a great honor. We love having you here. And we're going to try to send you to Washington to represent all of us. Take care.
Thank you, Charles. Well, I love the Bitcoin community, and I'm gonna light it on fire when I get in there. So thank you very much.
All right. Oh, Charles' reaction.
Take care.
He gave him a take care. He took it, he took it well there. Yeah, so I am going to have to put out a Cardano video tonight, folks. We got the Chang hard fork. We have now hit, I think, 80% of SPO's stake pool operators. These are the people keeping the Cardano network alive. And now it looks like Chang is here. And so I probably need to do a price video. I found something in the charts, and maybe I tease it. I can tease it here. I can tease it a little bit. It's ADA on the 3-day chart. Let's go here. Let's go to 3-day. Let's shrink this. Let's pull up the RSI. Let's just say I saw this. Oh, I'm going to hide it. We saw this, right? We saw the price heading down as the RSI is moving up on the 3-day. I look at when that last happened, and I found something for you folks. But you're going to have to turn on that notification. It helps if you hit the like button right now. I appreciate you sticking around to the end. We're here 7 days a week putting out content. We bring you live content Monday through Friday. This is Discover Crypto. You're part of the Disco fam. My name is DZ. That was TJ. It's been a wonderful experience. You made it better just by being here. That's all we got, folks. I'll see you this evening.